Hi everyone, welcome back to the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle's next game, upcoming game in the FA Cup away to Birmingham City at St Andrews this Saturday, 5:45 kickoff. It kind of feels a little bit after the Lord Mayor's show, doesn't it? After that massive game against Arsenal midweek, getting through to the Carabao Cup final. But there is another cup that Newcastle United are in. It's the FA Cup. It's the oldest cup in the country. It's something that's magical. It's something that we all talk about. Certainly, generations like mine, even, I don't think I'm an old bastard, but I probably am. But, talking about the FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup, some brilliant moments in it. Newcastle came really close to winning this competition before in the past. I'm pretty sure that Eddie Howe does not want to be out of this competition, but, it is a bit of a funny question, isn't it? Because our squad is so wafer thin. We're in the final of one cup. This cup competition, of course, we'll take it seriously, but is it something that's a priority? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you to decide. We're going to get stuck right into this, talk about how we think the team is going to line up, talk a little bit about the opposition. I don't know much about them, except for it's not my favourite city, and Troy Deeney supports them really, but we'll do our best to give them a little bit of respect because they are flying high, the top of League One at the minute, so they're nobody to sniff at. We can't take them for granted. No game is an easy game in football, especially in the FA Cup. We know teams can bring it. We're one of the biggest giant killers of all time with the famous Hereford goal and that story. Everyone plays on loop cycle when the FA Cup weekend rolls around. So we'll get stuck right into this. Before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe, help get us to the next milestone. 10K was so close. I think we're within 150 or something now. So you guys can help get us there. Smash that button. You know what to do. So let's get stuck. And this is how I think the lads are going to line up. So masses of changes, a swathe of changes from the Warriors that got us that result against Arsenal midweek. Some people have left in key positions mainly because I just don't think there's anybody else to really play there. But this is the team that I've gone for. Anyhow, might surprise us not do this. But gone for Nick Pope in goal. I think obviously Pope's match fit. He can't get in ahead of Dubravka. Dubravka is the starting goalkeeper right now, and rightly so. Even midweek, he pulled off some great saves when he had to, and he's been excellent, Dubravka, since he's come in. So Pope can't oust him from the team in the league or the Carabao Cup, but I think the FA Cup will give Pope a chance to play. And right back, we've brought Tino Livramento back in. I think Trippier was absolutely sensational midweek, and I think Trippier's almost pushed himself ahead of Tino for the Premier League starting berth. So I think Tino will start. The cup game obviously needs the games, needs the minutes, needs the fitness, so I think Tino will play in this game. Centre half is where we made some changes. So Emil Kraft I've put into the right hand side of centre half. I think Kraft's a really good player utility wise. I think he would be excellent in this game. So I can see maybe Sheran Botman getting a rest in this. I've let Dan Burn in because I think Dan Burn will probably keep his position. I wouldn't be surprised if he captains the side either, to be fair, in that centre-back pairing with Kraft. Burn just seems to be able to go and go and go, doesn't he? He looks like he's held together with masking tape. He's taped up to the nines. He looks in pain all the time, but my God, the boy can defend. And I think Burn will play again at the weekend. And I left back, I brought in Matty Target for the left back spot that I think Lewis Hall will be due a rest. Matty Target is a solid, steady Premier League left back. I think he'll fill in there and do a great job. In the midfield, I've made big changes there. As you can see, I've rested all of the major guns. Joe Linton is injured. I was looking at somebody's predicted lineup there. They must have done this way before Joe Linton's knee injury because I had him starting in midfield with Joe Willock. No chance. He's out for 4 weeks, so he will not be starting. I think we'll start with Louis Miley, Sean Longstaff, and Joe Willock as the midfield three. And then that's a really good midfield three. I think this is the kind of game we'd love to see Louis Miley get on the ball, do something, make it happen. Sean's energy in that midfield, Joe Willock get a goal or two, hopefully get that confidence back and rediscover some form from Joe Willock because he has regressed massively as a player. And I'd love to see Joe Willock grab this game by the nuts and just remind everybody how good he can be. And the front three is a tricky one. So I've left Jacob Murphy in because there is no other right winger. I think Callum Wilson will get a start through the middle. It was great to see Callum come on midweek against Arsenal, remind us all that he's still alive, still a player. Of course he's alive. My God, that's a bit strong, Chris. But no, he's still there as a footballer. He's a good goal scorer, and Callum Wilson will be itching to get that goal. The chant burst out in amongst the crowd on Wednesday. Callum Wilson, I want to know when you're going to get that goal, score that goal. The weekend will come and Wilson will want that goal. He'll want to get back on the goal trail and he'll want to show everybody what he can do. And he's a Midlands boy as well, ex-Coventry City player, so he'll want to stick one past the Blues, no doubt about that, of Birmingham. And on the left-hand side, I've left Anthony Gordon in again because I just don't see anybody else coming in, really. There could easily be some changes. potentially, maybe we'll see Sanusi from the reserves come in. I just don't know if that will happen or not. Maybe go two up front with Willisula and Wilson, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Murphy and Gordon will probably get another starting bit because there isn't anyone else to come in. If Barnes was fit, Barnes would be straight in there, but he ain't fit, so I don't think Barnes will be coming into this lineup at all. So that's how I think Newcastle United are going to line up. That's a strong lineup, very strong lineup for the FA Cup. But again, this will not be a walkover. Birmingham City. They were once winners of the old Carabao Cup or Carling Cup, whatever the hell it was called then, Worthington Cup, back when they won it under Alex McLeish. I think Obafemi Martin scored the winners. So Birmingham won silverware, more recently than we have, and slipped back. They dropped down through the football pyramid. They're now sitting top of League Two. I think after a disastrous spell of Wayne Rooney being their manager and relegating them, I think pretty much, isn't it? But they seem to be back on the upward curve. I think Chris Davies is the manager. I don't know much about them as a squad, but I do know they've got a very informed centre forward leading the line for them. It's Jay Stein. Is it Steinsfeld? Stansfield. I beg your pardon. So he's got 14 goals this season. In 21 appearances, and just had a look at him there, a little bit of his highlight. Really, he looks a decent centre forward. He's got good movement. He's only 22 as well. So you get a lot of these players will start to do things in lower leagues. I think he came from Fulham, so the lower leagues are riddled with players like Callum Wilson himself was one of those players. Kevin Phillips back in the day, Danny Ings, Charlie Austin, these kind of players. And, Stansfield might be one of those. Next one coming through the ranks, Jimmy Vardy is probably the most textbook of it. But the lad looks dangerous. He's got good movement. He's a good finisher as well. Scores all types of goals, fox in the box. Able to spin a player, getting behind. So he'll be a dangerous player. There's no doubt about it. And, Kraft and Byrne have to be on their toes with him there. So he looks a talented player. They've got Lyndon Dykes, obviously Scottish International, that plays for them as well. So that, they're not mugs. They're sitting top of League One for a reason. These FA Cup games are never easy just to walk through. And I think Newcastle will have to do a professional job here. There'll be some tired bodies if the likes of Byrne, Murphy and Gordon play in this game. There'll be some very tired bodies. I'd like to see them rotated, but I just don't think the squad is deep enough to do it. But that's what I think we'll do. I think we'll roll the dice. I think we'll change a lot of players. And I think it's needed for this fixture. And I think Newcastle United hopefully will have enough in that starting lineup to get the win and progress through the next round of the FA Cup. I don't know a lot about Birmingham City. Let us know in the comments below, guys, if you're concerned about it, if you're a Birmingham City fan, what do you think about this game? They're sold out. This would be the biggest game they've had in a while. They'll be welcoming the Toon Army to Birmingham, to their stadium, and they'll be loving life playing against a top top 6 Premier League team who's in the Carabao Cup final. I was just smashed Arsenal. So they'll be looking forward to bringing welcoming a huge club to their ground to play in this tie, and they'll want to make an example of us. They'll want to write the headlines. They'll want to put Newcastle United out of the FA Cup. So Birmingham will right up for this game, bang up for this game, as their supporters will be as well. And like I said before, sorry, it's not my favourite city. I've spent a bit of time in Birmingham in the past. I'm not a big fan of it. And Troy Deeney did you no favours, guys. I'm sure there's a lot of good Birmingham City fans out there who are decent people. There might be in the comments now, being very nice and talking about football. And thank you for that if you are. But Troy Deeney is an absolute wank. He was at St James's Park with his phone out, taking photos of the crowd and the atmosphere. He certainly didn't say it was a shithole then, did you, Troy? So there'd be added incentive for Newcastle fans to do Birmingham City because of Troy Deeney. Sorry, Birmingham City, but he has added a little bit of spice to that. But that's what I think about the lineup. I think Newcastle United should win this game. I'm going to go 3-1 for Newcastle in this game. No disrespect to Birmingham City. I think even that team, which is our reserve team, I think has more than enough quality in there to show that they can do the business, get the job done. Really excited to see Louis Miley get a start. Hope he grabs it again like he did against Bromley. Maybe get another goal, boss the game. Show us what he's made of. With Joe Linton being out, that midfield third spot is up for grabs in the Premier League unless Eddie decides to go for the 3 at the back formation, the back 5 that he did against Arsenal in the upcoming games against City, Liverpool and Forest. That are all tough games. Top 5, top 6 teams. Maybe Eddie will change the formation. But, if somebody wants that midfield third berth while Joe Linton's out of it, you've got Willock, you've got Longstaff, Iron Miley, all auditioning to get that spot, and they need to put in a performance and show the manager how good they can be be the senior players, be the Premier League players, boss that midfield, and win this game for Newcastle at the weekend. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about the lineup, about the game. Are you concerned? Are you worried? Are you not bothered if we go at the FA Cup? I like to win every game, to be fair. So I hope Newcastle do win this game and go through to the next round of the FA Cup, because you want to be in as many competitions as you can be. But one thing's for sure, I'll be back with you on the post-match live straight after the game. Hopefully Newcastle done the business, got through the next round, and we're smiling once again. Have a bell, everyone. Keep it evermore. Like and subscribe. We'll see you later. Cheers.